when he was very young, building a temple for Guru Haji Vivekanandapuri in Tiruvannamalai. This building, this complex, was built by the Hindu himself, the guidance and with the guidance of his gurus. In the year 2001, on the 14th April, established the very first Kailasa temple monastery complex in Tiruchengodu, South India. You can see here in the leftmost bottom hand corner, there is the annotation of this day in the Supreme Pontific's own handing, historical event. In the year 2002, on November 4th, at the age of 24, the Supreme Pontificate established Adi Kailasa Sarvanyapeetham in South India. By the age of 26, in the year 2009, the Supreme Pontificate starts conducting the mass living enlightenment initiation conventions, taking people through powerful cleansing processes. These programs happened and were conducted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism all across the globe in various parts of the world, in India, in Africa, in Canada, and various parts of Europe as well. In the year 2006, at the age of 27, in the year 2005, at the age of 27, on April 18th, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism welcomed the by the mayor of St. Louis in United States. Here we can see glimpses of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the mass living enlightenment conventions throughout the globe in various parts of the world. We have here some of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the stress to de-stress discourse in Oklahoma Medical Baptist Center in the United States, as well as other conventions. On the 15th, of September, the Nasik Kumbh Mela, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiated thousands of people into mass living enlightenment. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the Ujjain Kumbh Mela initiated thousands and thousands more into the mass living enlightenment. Here we can see the various coronations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was very young. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasannidhan Pontiff of Sarvanyapeetham, which is the Tondai Mandaladinam. In the year 2002, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was declared as the Suryavanshi Surangi Samrajya. In the years following that, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Mahasannidhan. In the year 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the 290th In the year 2013, during the Allahabad Kumbh Hinduism was coronated as the present Mahamandaleshwar, which is the supreme spiritual head of the Mahanirvani Akhada, which is the In the year 2014, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar, the spiritual leaders of the Atal Akhada, which is the ancient apex body of Hinduism. In 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, elected by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindus. Here we are now looking at the sovereign state of Kailasa. Kailasa is a cosmic, ancient Hindu enlightened civilizational nation whose vision is living enlightenment for all of humanity. Kailasa's mission is to revive and share with today's world, the practical applications of the greater sciences, including Hindu cosmic physics, Hindu alchemy, Hindu cosmology, Hindu biology, Hindu mathematics, the manifest sciences as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. These sciences were once practiced freely in over 56 countries, are now facing extinction due to the persecution which is happening over a millennium. Here we have the 108 Sri Kailasas Uniting Nations initiatives, which are initiatives supporting a variety of humanitarian services by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations, which collectively create a life, peaceful, sustainable, equitable, resilient, and thriving world. One of the first projects of the No Hungry Home project offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for nutritious food and a hunger-free world. Over the last 20 years, more than 1 billion meals have been served by Sri Kailasa. Every month for the past 27 years, the community has more than 3 million annadans. Annadan is the free organic meal service happening as per the tradition. The annadans were carried out in religious gatherings to everyone without discrimination. On normal days, almost up to 100,000 meals are served on festival days. And as you can see here in various photos, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself is saying and performing the Annadan service to many of the devotees and disciples and followers who have gathered. The next initiative we are looking at is Kailasa's protective and preventive COVID care health by Kailasa nations for affordable and holistic healthcare. During the pandemic, a global event which happened, which affected everyone across the globe, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only one who offered a safe haven in this time of global crisis. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism converted his monastery campuses into a multi-layer quarantine city, regardless of any differences in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, social, food, shelter, internet, and free medical care. All of these basic facilities were provided free or amount of time. Around 30 million citizens fast as 28-day spiritual regimen in the year 2000. Here we have Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations offering for development in the projects of Nithyananda Hindu University and the Nithyananda Gurukul. The Nithyananda Hindu University is the of Hinduism and is the world's largest Hindu university. Nithyananda Hindu University has over 20 million enrollments, 7,000 courses, and extended campuses in 150 countries. The Nithyananda Gurukul, which was inaugurated in December 2006, is the revival of an ancient Shaivite Guru-disciple education system by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. System based on enlightenment. Next, we're looking at the Nithyananda Jnanalaya project and the Hinduismpedia offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations. The Nithyananda Jnanalaya project was established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to collect and to preserve the 1 million knowledge is made accessible and shared free of cost to all. Collecting and preserving million source books. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored more than 10,000 books in 3 languages, translated into 50 other different languages, and has given 10,000 plus hours of free discourses with a combined view of over 1 billion. Kailasa Hindu Media was established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism collected more than 15 from all 19 Sarvanyapitams, ancient mutts, and ashrams. 1 million pages on Hinduism, collection of 32,000 books, 1,000 e-textbooks, and more than 100,000 articles on various topics of Hinduism. Here we have Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Global Peace and on the for World Peace. In the year 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a month-long peace walk of 1 kilometers and 1,000 villages to bring together in harmony from all walks of life to promote feeling connected one among people. During the walk, health camps were conducted in villages along its path. The next offering we are having from Sri Kailasa Uniting programs are quality. Kailasa's Yogini Sarvanyapitham established the yoga and meditation universities to improve emphasis on life solutions through Vedas and Agamas, empowering the indigenous rural women, fighting strong gender stereotypes, gender-based violence, and lack of inclusive and quality learning environments. Some of these initiatives include Kailasa's Academy, which is a financing service, Kailasa's Women Foundation and Women Empowerment Self-Help Centers, launched in 108 places of the world since its initiation in 2009. Kailasa's Ankita program, providing foundational literacy about the working of basic community service and infrastructure environments. Kailasa's program is the providing vocational training programs to rural and indigenous women to provide equal opportunities and access to independent self-sufficient movements. Next, we have the of Sri Nations for yoga. The Nithyananda Kriyas are 108 scientifically validated Kriyas specifically targeting 108 major diseases and disorders such as diabetes, arthritis, autism, and more. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also revived the ancient pole yoga, the Shivastamba yoga, and yoga, in which yogic asanas, postures, and weight balancing techniques are performed to create the yogic physiology aligned with that measures superconscious powers. Not only that, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also been awarded 2 Guinness records, the largest pole yoga classes, bringing worldwide attention to these extraordinary forms of yoga. These Guinness records were happened on the 8th of September and 3rd of October, respectively. Here now, we're looking at one of the most historic moments in the history of Sri Kailasa, which is the establishment of Kailasa Nation in the United Nations. Kailasa, the first nation of Hindus, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Paramashivam, of the 2 billion global Hindu diaspora at the 14th session of the United Nations Forum on Minority Issues. An significant milestone of Hindus and the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa happened on the 2nd of December 2021. His Excellency Nritta, extraordinary and plenipotentiary of Kailasa, represented resolution of Hindus at the 14th session of the United Nations Forum on Minority Issues. The theme of the forum is and rights of minorities. This was the first time the plight of persecuted Hindu minorities was represented in a nation. The systematic generational attacks on Hindu indigenous traditions were highlighted in this meeting. Here we can see the various torture and murder attempts by the state and non-state on the Supreme Pandav of Hinduism. Over 70 assassination attempts and physical attacks on the Supreme Pandav of Hinduism has happened in India and abroad. More than 40 attacks on community members, destruction of monasteries and temples, over 60 incidents of rapes, attacks and women, intense lawfare through the 100 different false legal cases, intersection using the entire government mechanism, politically owned media, police and judiciary controlled by politicians, inciting mob violence through the social media. These are but a few of the many ways the anti-Hindu elements and anti-spiritual elements really executed and directly try to take away the life of the Supreme Pandav of Hinduism. With persistence and resolution in creating and reviving the Hindu tradition, the illegal attacks and false persecution happening on the Supreme Pandav of Hinduism, established the nation for Hindus, the only nation for Hindus, to revive, protect, and maintain this tradition, as well as to give the superconscious breakthrough to the whole world. In the next segment, we're going to be learning about one of the most important aspects which Supreme Pandav of Hinduism is the reviving and giving the superconscious breakthrough to the whole world, and that is the science of power manifestation. In the next segment, we're going to be learning about the science of power manifestation, the scriptural reference for the powers of the manifestation, how does the power manifestation work, as well as a live demonstration of the powers of and power manifestation. So please stay tuned. We'll have, after the break, we're going to be seeing a live demonstration of this science of power manifestation.
A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pandav of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pandav of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashivam. The Supreme Pandav of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand, this is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Founder of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashiva and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Nithyanandam, we welcome all the viewers watching us live on our social media platforms, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, to this powerful session on the science of manifesting Shaktis. So today in this session, we're going to be seeing the various aspects of how the Shaktis manifest and how these Shaktis are useful to our life. So first we're going to be seeing how these Shaktis manifest. So in the Vedagamas, which are the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva elaborates in detail about how every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest the 463 plus extraordinary Shaktis of Paramashiva. Manifesting powers are described as a systematic method and science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers and have access to the various states of consciousness. Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are divine and not that you are going to become divine or you are a man and going to become divine. So now we're going to be seeing the difference between the Shaktis and Siddhis. So the Shaktis are expressed from the space of enlightenment and as a side effect of feeling connection with the divine and the highest integrity with a guru. Shaktis are the source of enlightenment, whereas Siddhis are powers that manifest from the tapas or penance for enlightenment. So when you're on the spiritual path for enlightenment, the powers that manifest is the siddhis, and also the Shaktis are of Paramashiva manifest through ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way after initiation from the avatar. That's the most important point, which is the difference between the Shaktis and Siddhis. When you are initiated by a guru, by a living incarnation, the extraordinary expressions that start manifesting through you are the Shaktis, and Shaktis are permanent. whereas the siddhis are not permanent, and they divert you from the path of enlightenment. Now we are going to be seeing the pramanas, or the various evidences which time test and foolproof the powers. So we have four methods and four levels through which this there are four ways and four methods through which these powers are manifested, verified. So first is the Shastra Pramana, which is the scriptural references for these powers. Then we have the Apta Pramana, which is the experiments and the experiences which were recorded by our ancient rishis, who were the scientists of the inner science, and the various masters like Ramakrishna and Ramana Maharishi, who have come before us and proved to the world that this science of manifesting Shaktis is possible by every human being. Then we have the Atma Pramana, which is the verified and validated experiences of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. After he had any of his experiences, he verified with the Vedas and Agmas, which is the Shastra Pramana, and with other masters to see whether his experiences match with the teachings of Paramashiva itself, which is the Vedas and Agamas, and the Apta Pramanas, which are the experiences of the rishis. And then
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
yes, sorry for the technical glitch. Then we have the Pratyaksha Pramana, which are the scientific evidences for the manifesting of these Shaktis. So now we are going to be in few minutes we are going to be seeing the detailed details of each of these pramanas. So before that, we are going to be seeing the source, from where do these powers manifest, and the answer is Paramashiva. Paramashiva is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, the ultimate reality and cause, which is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all pervading, unclutching, beyond time, space, form, and causality. The fundamental base of Avyakta, the ultimate, and the Vyakta, the manifest existence. And he performs the Panchakritya, or the five cosmic acts. So, from that, this whole universe and this whole cosmos that we know is created. The ultimate truth about Shaktis are when the powerful cognitions, the jnana, is mapped into our consciousness, the prajna, it manifests as powers and possibilities, which is called prajnana. Now we are going to be seeing the detailed pramanas for these powers. So now we're going to be seeing the pramana for the power of third eye, which is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. The Vijnana Bhairava Tantra is a scripture which is directly given by Paramashiva to Paramashiva Shakti, and after that it has been given to various other rishis and come down lineage by lineage from guru to disciple. So in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, the verse 34 tells us about the power of the third eye. The verse goes, Kapalantarmanonyasa Tishtanmilitalochanaha Kramena manaso dadyat Lakshayet lakshamuttamam. The translation is by fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes in succession to the third eye, and stability in the mind and inner space. Through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal, Lakshyam, by having the vision beyond the sight, and that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source, Paramashiva. So we can see here how Paramashiva has given us a detailed instruction of how this power manifests. Now we are going to be seeing the Apta Pramana, which is the experiences of the various rishis, incarnations, and masters who have come in the past. So here we can see a beautiful verse from the Bhagavad Gita, which is from the Mahabharata. And in this verse, Arjuna asked Krishna that Arjuna wanted to see the cosmic form, the Vishwarupa Darshana of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And at that time, Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells Arjuna, you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore, I grant you the divine vision of the third eye. Behold my cosmic opulence. So then after this, Arjuna is able to see the cosmic form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, and then he narrates the whole happening, the whole beautiful darshan that he has in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita.
Inside and outside broke. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole. I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Both I exist equally.
Yes, so we're seeing the Atma Pramana, the
setting,
experience of the
sun,
Supreme Pontiff of
rising,
Hinduism.
moon,
So in the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's own words, he says,
the whole
quotes,
Arunachala
the
hill,
first experience
all the
that I was
plants,
able to see everything around me, above me,
shrubs,
the whole 360 degrees, 10 directions below me, everything I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel and experience all that is me. So we can see here how in the Atma Pramana, exactly what the Shastra Pramana said is being mapped as the Atma Pramana. Now we are seeing here the scientific study which was done on the third eye, directly on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism itself. So we can see here a picture of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism itself going through the scientific study, and they wanted to see how the third eye is working. So they had done the positron emission tomography, which is the PET scan on the third eye, on the brain, and they had found that almost 90% of the brain activity had suddenly concentrated in the frontal lobe region, which we call the third eye. So this is the amazing scientific research they were able to find, scientific understanding they were able to find from this, for the power of third eye. Now we're going to be seeing a power which manifests from the space of the third eye, which is the power of consciousness over matter. So first we'll be seeing the Shastra Pramana. So the Shastra Pramana for the power of consciousness over matter comes from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 120, Dharna 95. क्वचिद् वस्तुनि विन्यस्य शनैः दृष्टिं निवर्तयेत् तज्ज्ञानं चित्तसहितं देवि शून्यालयो भवेत्. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, having fixed one's eyes on a particular object, Vastu, one should slowly withdraw the sight from the object as well as slowly eliminate of that object along with the thoughts and impressions. One abides in Shunya, the state where there is nothing other than this, which is the state of all inclusiveness or infinity. So here, for the power of consciousness over matter, Bhagavan Paramashiva is giving us the detailed instructions of how first we fix our gaze on the particular object and then we bring oneness with that object, and because we remove all the thoughts, impressions, every idea that we have about that object, so we start to feel that oneness, and then when that happens we are able to object and we are able to move it. So this is the power of consciousness over matter. So now we are going to be having a live demonstration of this power where I will be manifesting this power for all of you. So here I have my Atmalinga and I'm going to be placing my Atmalinga on my hand, and with the power of the Mahavakya I'm going to be making the Atmalinga to stand. So this is not the power is not just making an Atmalinga stand or anything. The power is really when you start connecting with Paramashiva, you are able to have the divine darshan of various manifestations of Paramashiva happening in our life. Because when we speak to a deity or something like that, we are not able to actually have the direct connection. But when Paramashiva manifests through this, we are able to really connect with the deity, and when we manifest, we come to the space of ultimate Advaita, highest Advaita. So when that happens also, we can manifest any reality that we want. Anything that we want to manifest in our life can be manifested from that space.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda.
So sorry for the technical glitch. I hope all the viewers are able to hear us now. So I was just saying, so here is my Atmalinga, and there is no strings tied to it or anything. And my hand also is there. There's no strings or no kind of glue or anything which is there. And the Atmalinga is made of a crystalline material. So no kind of magnet can be used to pull it. And I have this tissue paper just to make sure that to verify and show the viewers that when the Atmalinga is moving, there is no kind of movement which is happening. So you can see that even when I move the tissue paper, there's no kind of strings which are tied to this. So when I place my hand like this and the Atmalinga is moving, I'll just be circling the Atmalinga to show that even when the Atmalinga is standing, there is no kind of movement which is being caused by any other external force except the force of consciousness. So I'm just holding it here. So the most important thing that all the viewers should do now is that we are going to be creating a space of oneness with Paramashiva. So this is the best time all of you can take to really create any reality that you want. Like if you want health, wealth, or any relationship, or you want ultimately Paramashivoham to manifest, this is the best time you can use to create that reality. And now we can all get into the space, to a meditative space, and let's see the manifestation happening. So I'll be chanting the Mahavakya right now, just placing my Atmalinga firmly. So I'll be just showing you now. I'm circling my Atmalinga, and you can see that there is no movement which is being caused by by this or by anything else. It's just the hand and the Atmalinga is stable. So I'm just placing this here itself so that you can see that there is no other thing. So now I'll be chanting the Mahavakya, and all of you can also join me, and we can manifest the reality that we want. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 So now I'm just going to circle the Atmalinga to show even when it's standing now, there's no external movement which is being happening. It's just directly the Atmalinga moving. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Yes, so we had the beautiful power manifest. So this is the best opportunity all of you can also take to manifest any powers. Every day we are going to be having this session for the YouTube and Facebook viewers and satsangis who are watching us every day. and having the beautiful darshan of the various Bhava Samadhi darshans happening every day. So now we are going to be moving into the next segment where we are going to be learning deeper truths about today's Bhava Samadhi darshan. And today we're going to be having a very beautiful and intense, powerful Bhava Samadhi darshan where directly the form of Sandhya Murthy and Nataraja is going to be manifesting through the supreme point of Hinduism. So now we'll be back with you after a short break, and meanwhile, you can take the time to create an intention for Paramashivoham because we're going to be having exclusive sessions. We are having the Alive Bhava Samadhi Darshan so that all of us can get ready and prepare our space to really imbibe that extraordinary powerful darshans that the supreme point of Hinduism gives us, because it's not just sitting in front of the camera. You are really being watched by the supreme point of Hinduism. He can see you, and as he is that Nijavatara of Paramashiva, he is living in all our hearts also as the Antaryami. So let us all take this beautiful time to register ourselves for Paramashivoham, and we'll be back with you after a short break. Thank you, Nithyananda.
I welcome you all with my love.
A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashiva. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand, this is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashiva and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. In the program, leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org.
You will become Paramashivam.
Hello everyone. Witness beautiful manifestation demonstration by Paramashivam Maharaj, who through the power of consciousness over matter and with the great Paramashivam Maharaj was able to become one, be in the space of oneness with his Atmalinga, of from horizontal position to a vertically standing position without touching it, without doing anything, just with the simple power of and being in this. This is just one of the many.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes.
Yes, welcome you all back. Sorry for the technical glitch. We witnessed very powerful power manifestation by Paramashivam Maharaj. This is just one of the many powers in the Agamas. A total of 463 powers are listed by Paramashiva in the Agamas, which are capable of to manifest the same super divine beings. So, in the next couple of hours leading to how the we will learn about the Murthy, about the Leela of the Sandhya Nritta Murthy, which is the Bhava Darshan. We'll be learning about the Murthy, and we will also be doing a couple of internalization exercises. Help us understand how the cognition allow our beings to open up and express itself fully, so that we are in the receptive space to receive the darshan. Topic of the video which we are going to be watching now is everything is auspicious. Everything which is happening to us is not. We may perceive it to be bad, but everything is auspicious. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will be continuing to expand on this understanding full cognition in a series of satsangs and videos which we're going to be watching now. Before we enter into the satsang, come to the space of restful awareness. It is only in the space of restful awareness, the space of everything the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says will become a part of our being, will become a part of our cognition. Please sit straight and allow yourself to come to a restful, relaxed position. It's anything which is possible of distracting you. Keep everything aside and just be and sit with yourself. Let's now enter into the satsang.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Next, Sandhya Nritta. See, Sandhya means the day and night meeting, and destruction, pralaya, and creation meeting. For you to understand roughly, you can roughly understand as ice age. During every ice age, he dances the cosmic dance. That is called Sandhya Tandava. Listen. Whenever you feel everything in your life is falling apart, suddenly business is collapsing, wife is leaving, and kids are not listening to you. It's almost like your whole life is going. What do you think as your life is going? Health is failing. Whenever you feel that pralaya is happening in you, meditate on the Sandhya Nritta Murthy. Invoke him. Mahadeva, you are doing your Sandhya Nritya in my life. Just show me you are doing the Sandhya Nritya. That's enough. He will simply manifest auspiciousness in you. Listen. He just wants you to know he is doing Sandhya Tandava in your life. If you recognize it, you will say, all right, come on. Now, it is time. Let's start the creation. Let the new yuga start. Let the new universe manifest. Let the new life manifest. If you want new life to manifest in you, connect with Sandhya Tandava Murthy. Nritta means Tandava. Sandhya Nritta Murthy. Tandava goes through certain discipline. Nritta is beyond all discipline. So, if you feel things are falling apart in your life, connect with Sandhya Nritta Murthy. Mahadeva, Paramashiva, I know you are doing Sandhya Nritta in me. Just reveal that you are doing Sandhya Nritta, so I'll be in peace. That's all. He will feel very shy. Hey, this fellow caught me. Now he knows my Leela. Okay, come on. All right. I'll create the new life for you. I'll manifest new life for you. Delusion will delude you as long as you have not recognized the delusion is deluding you. The moment you recognize delusion is deluding you, it can no more delude you. Delusion cannot delude you. The moment you recognize delusion is deluding. Actually, even this Sandhya Nritta Murthy we have in Seattle Temple. Seattle Temple, we have not only the huge Nataraja, Ananda Nataraja, we have some more dancing forms of Shiva. I think we have done some, that 108 dancing forms of Shiva, and sent to different temples few deities, few forms. So Seattle has Ananda Tandava, as in Chidambaram, and Sandhya Nritta Murthy, and even Los Angeles has few more Tandavas of Paramashiva's forms. So connect with this superconscious mutation, Sandhya Nritta Murthy. You will realize nothing is falling apart, everything is falling in place. If you know Paramashiva, you will know everything falls in place. If you don't know Paramashiva, you may be deluded thinking everything is falling apart. Principle of creation getting created. Listen to that very carefully. Listen intensely. Principle of manifestation getting manifested. Principle of maintenance getting manifested. Principle of rejuvenation getting manifested. Principle of pulling out of delusion getting manifested. Principle of liberation getting manifested. So, creation of the universe is one level. Principle of creation getting created. Creation energy getting created. So, the permutation combination of all these 5 into 5 is 25. All the 25 happening in you now. Now. Listen. Listen. If you meditate on this, you will understand. Some people manifesting in your life is creation. Some people leaving your life is rejuvenation. Some people getting back to your life is pulling out of delusion. Some people are adding bliss, joy to you, and you adding bliss and joy to them is liberation. All this, understand, whether it is people, places, object, health, anything you experience, it is all just the 25 principles manifesting, happening in you. If you are fighting with that happening, you are Jiva. If you are master of that happening, you are Shiva. If you sit now and complete with all these 25 happenings in your life, internally, externally, some good things getting created. Some things which you think as good getting destroyed, rejuvenated. Some things getting pulled out of delusion. Some things getting liberated. Listen carefully. Everything happening in you is auspicious. If you understand that, you are Shiva. Inside you, outside you, everything happening is auspicious. I tell you, once you are initiated, once you are initiated, once you are my disciple, listen very clearly. Even if you think in your life things are falling apart, they are falling in proper place. Understand? Nothing is falling apart. They are all falling in place. Once you are initiated, Guru Linga Sangha, I tell you, nothing falls apart. You may, even if you think things are falling apart in your life, they all fall in place. Understand that. Nothing falls apart. Everything happening is auspicious. Everything is falling in place for the higher purpose. I tell you. Once you sit with that clarity, you are Shiva. If you are able to come to that, if you are master of your life, you are Ishvara. I tell you, whoever is constantly in firefighting mode internally lives as Jiva. Whoever lives in ferocious mode internally lives as Shiva. So be very clear. If you are suddenly having lottery, wealth is getting manifested. If you are losing some money, the destruction of wealth is happening. But that does not mean you are a loser or something with you. You are Paramashiva. Things are not falling apart. Things are falling in place. Sometimes some wealth loss awakens strong, active, workaholic energy in you, which is, you might have lost few $1,000s, but the energy gets triggered in you, maybe worth of millions of dollars. I have seen this happening. So nothing is wrong, inauspicious. Anybody who soaks into this powerful cognition, whatever is happening is auspicious. First of all, that powerful cognition fellow, you will not have violence inside. And you will not be doing anything wrong. You will be living as Paramashiva. When somebody tries to attack you, they only create karma. It's not that you have some karma, because of that they are coming near. No, they create karma for themselves. You live in a pure Paramashiva space. You are integrated to your Guru. The powerful cognitions they manifest. It may be very simple word, but it will just open your Kundalini and make it into reality. Now, I am telling you about the most sacred secret of death. 5 into 5 means creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, liberation. This 5 into 5, these 25 principles is happening now in you. Take this as powerful cognition. And everything happening inside you, outside you is auspiciousness. This powerful cognition will make you intelligent, strategic, brilliant, powerful. It will not make you lazy, tired, bored, powerless. No, understand that. It will bring so much healing and energy, especially when you are my disciple. When you are initiated by me, integrated to me, understand? It just manifests in you. Like if you are initiated and you have not abused me and you are not interested in abusing me, if you are clear about that, that's all. You are integrated to me. You are my disciple. Understand? If you are my initiated disciple and integrated to me, listen very carefully. This word may look very simple, but meditate on it. It will just open Paramashiva in you. Everything is auspicious. Whatever you think, good, bad, right, wrong, everything is just these 25 activities happening. Some thoughts getting manifested, some thoughts getting sustained, some thoughts getting distracted. Something's coming in your life as manifesting, something's getting maintained, something's getting distracted, something's getting pulled out of delusion, something's getting liberated. Understand this. This 25 will go on in you forever. You can be in firefighting mode as a jiva, means deluded individual. Or you can be in ferocious mood as Paramashiva, individual. Be Paramashiva. With the clarity, everything happening is auspiciousness. Be individual, not individual. He manifesting through individual is individual. Understand? He manifesting through individual is individual. Understand? I tell you, with my tremendous love, just meditate, internalize this powerful cognition. Everything happening is auspicious and Paramashiva is within me doing all these 25.
Your body, physical body, carries the consciousness. I use new word called Divya Sarira. Consciousness wearing this body is Divya Sarira. That consciousness getting more and more empowered. When the consciousness gets empowered, you don't feel suffocated by physical body and its limitations. Listen. If you are Divya Sarira, the consciousness which is holding your body, if that is empowered, you don't feel suffocated, limited, reduced by your body. Please listen. Body limiting your possibility makes you feel suffocated.
not only the great powerful cognitions and understandings about the secrets of the cosmos, all spiritual practices are focused with the purpose of empowering your Divya Sarira. Listen. Yesterday's satsang, I gave you one truth. If you rest in Samadhi, you will see everything in your life is complementing your different aspects. The wealth you earn, or the money you spend, the relationships getting added in your life, or people leaving from your life, comforts and wealth, artha getting added or leaving, the higher values, understandings getting added to you, and middle class values leaving you, everything, if you see, it just complements your expansion. If you get terrorized by your life, suffocated by your life without understanding, if you feel everything is chaos, everything is falling apart, due to your inner restlessness, you feel whole life is complication and incompletion. I tell you, nothing falls apart, everything falls in place. Nothing in life falls apart, everything in life falls in place. All of you should know, I don't teach the shit called positive thinking. No. First of all, I don't believe in that shit, and I don't teach that. I teach you reality. I teach you the truth. You are intensely brainwashed by suffocating ideas about life by media and the so-called human society. Whenever I sit in Samadhi and watch, I see clearly everything is so auspicious. Not only I see it, when I see life as auspicious, my Divya Sarira gets so empowered. It just manifests powers and miracles. Every time when I reveal the higher truths, it empowers your inner space. It empowers your very being. Empowering your Divya Sarira is the job I do day in and day out. Whenever you look at any destruction as a reminder of your inauthenticity and irresponsibility, it is no more a destruction in your life. You learned how to make anything negative into positive to strengthen your life. If you are able to make anything negative into positive, the moment it enters in your life, you are Shiva. Causeless auspiciousness. Listen. Intense integrity brings you the space of positivity, because if you are integrated constantly, you will be looking at the words you utter to you and to others. You will weed out all the negative prophecies, negative commitments you are giving to you and to others. This will leave you with the prasada of positively positive space, real positive space. And gives you the prasada of space of possibility. Just a space of possibility. When Rudra comes, face him with integrity and authenticity, he becomes Shiva. Rudra becomes Shiva, causeless auspiciousness. He becomes the space of rejuvenation, not just destruction. When he becomes the space of rejuvenation, he is no more destruction. The word does not suit him. The space of positivity, space of possibility, makes Shiva happen in you. Shiva happen in you. Shiva happen in you. Whenever you instruction happening in your life with the view that it is happening only to expand you, you are in the state of Shiva, Rudra. Rudra becomes Shiva. Carefully. Understand, sometime you may say, oh Swamiji, the universe does not make sense to me. It does not need to make sense to you. It is not obligated to make sense to you. You are obligated to make sense to Paramashiva. Understand, you deciding to make yourself sensible to Paramashiva is surrender to Paramashiva. I decided I will make myself sensible to Paramashiva. I will not bother whether Paramashiva makes sense to me or not. That is surrender. Paramashiva is no way bound to make sense to me. Universe is not obligated to make sense to me. I am only obligated to make sense to universe. I am obligated to make sense to Paramashiva. My behavior, my lifestyle, my thought currents, me, I am supposed to make myself sensible to Paramashiva. Paramashiva is no way obligated to make himself sensible to me. When I decided this, Paramashiva started manifesting in me. Make this decision on this auspicious Deepavali day. Understand, this is I am revealing the most internal, deepest sacred secret. Decide. Life, Paramashiva, universe, Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat. The Jiva means the individual existence, soul, Atma. Ishvara means the cosmic soul. Jagat is cosmos. These three put together is Paramashiva. All this is not at all obligated to make sense to me. I am only obligated to Shiva. That is surrender. When I decided, suddenly I saw everything started making sense to me and it manifesting through me. I became insider. Understand? As long as you think world, universe should make sense to you, you will be an outsider. When you decide, universe is no way, Paramashiva is no way obligated to make sense to you. You are only obligated to make sense to Paramashiva. You become insider. Paramashiva starts revealing all the truths to you. and he makes so much sense to you. Understand? When Paramashiva starts making sense to you, you feel just with life. Wow, life is dharmic. Nothing is negative in the universe. Everything is auspicious.
Shiva. Shiva means in Sanskrit costless auspiciousness. And you'll be surprised to know some more details. In Sanskrit, the word for destruction, literally if you translate, it is not destruction. It is, the word means samhara. That is the word we use. That word means rejuvenation, creating place for new things happening. Wrongly we translate the word samhara as a destruction. The exact that Sanskrit word means creating new space for new things to happen. Rejuvenation. Even destruction can be looked from different dimension. Even destruction can be looked from different dimension. Rejuvenating or creating new space for better things to happen. Even the disease which happens to your body just creates a new space so that you can start having new body. You can get ready to live a new life. You can just restart the whole thing. So actually, restarting the whole thing can heal many of your wounds. There are some wounds which can't be healed just by going to sleep and coming back. There are some wounds which can be healed by falling asleep and coming back. You will forget. There are some wounds which can't be healed by falling asleep and coming back. At that point only you decide, let me restart the whole thing. Let me just refresh. Then you allow the body to have some disease so that the rejuvenation process can start. You can drop this body and take a new body and start new life, the new way of thinking, new way of living, new way of expressing. Every moment when you move from one moment to next moment, you are expanding, you are growing, you are learning. If you look from this angle, even your death is auspicious because you are going to next step. You are going to further. Only if you are not clear about the next step, you will feel the fear of death. It is not even fear of death, it is fear of unknown. Fear of unknown. Present moment is the possibility of rejuvenation. If you are in the present moment, you will experience overflowing energy in the body. You will feel whatever is happening is auspicious. If you are caught with Brahma or Vishnu, you will not feel whatever is happening is auspicious. If you are caught in Shiva, if you are centered in the center, present moment, where future is disappearing into present and becoming past. If you are in the present moment, in this moment, you will become like Shiva, who is rejuvenator, who is constantly creating space for new things to happen. You will be fearless the moment you are fearless about the things happening. You will feel everything happening around you is costless auspiciousness. As long as you are caught in future, you will feel insecure, fear. If you are caught in the past, you will feel things are inauspicious. Life is dull, dead. If you are in the present, one more thing, if you are in the present, you will see very clearly the future which is coming inside you and becoming past leaves so much energy in you. Every moment you are just overflowing with energy. If you are caught by future, you are in fantasies, means castles in the air, no energy. If you are caught in the past, you are just a stone, a rock which can't be moved, dead, no energy. If you are caught in the future, air. If you are caught in the past, dead rock. If you are caught in the present, if you are centered in the present, you will be a flowing river, water. You will be just a flowing river. You will be just a flowing energy. Whoever is in the present moment, just swallowing the future and making it as a past consciously, will be overflowing. The Mahadeva, Shiva, who represents the rejuvenation process, are creating space for new things to happen. He is causeless auspiciousness. If you are centered in the present moment, you will be beyond fear. Your Kundalini will be awakened. You will be radiating the causeless auspiciousness. The person who achieved that state, who is centered in the present, only he is worshipped.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Yes. Now we all heard from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and we understood our own delusion that how we, every aspect of our life, thinking that everything is falling in apart. The actual truth is everything is falling in place and everything is happening for auspiciousness. So these, the incidents which believe that my whole life is failing. I'm getting into this pralaya. All the space till now, the delusionary space we cherished, these are sitting inside us and not letting us manifest our reality and not allowing us to enjoy the life as the whole lila is happening. So now let us all this incident which is sitting in our life and not letting us to manifest the reality in our life. So our request all join us on social media platforms, YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Request all of you now pen down the three incidents in your life. You felt everything in life. Some may have felt that the business is collapsing, your health is failing, all the relationships around you, it's all everything is happening simultaneously. At one point you felt my whole entire life is failing. Whenever you go to projects or initiatives you take, everything is collapsing. You thought that I'm having a life. So let us sit with ourselves and internalize and put down incidents in your life when you felt everything in your life is falling apart. Or falling apart. Request all the participants sit down in seat.
கேரியல ஒரு பிரச்சனையா இருக்கு இந்த ஜூம் ஆப்.
The actual truth now. All the delusions will go on as well as not organized. The delusion is deluding you. How much ever you recognize that your delusion is deluding you, all delusion will have power over you and it will go on delude you. Which is needed from us is to recognize and come to the space and understand that are deluding us. The moment, now, the right moment when you recognize that your delusion is deluding, it will loses all the power over you and it no more can delude you. This is the to consciously decide and recognize that all our decisions are leading us. The moment you come to this conclusion and understanding, all the delusions, perceptions, powerless cognitions, all you have, which is literally spoiling your life, making you to fit in every box, making you believe that your life is falling apart, will just loses power over you, and you will do every time that your life is auspicious. So let us make this strong decision. Bend down and ferociously identify all the delusions that is causing the pralaya inside you. We come to this understanding that all this only because of my delusions, still not recognizing that my delusions are taking power over me, only because of I'm able to first and come to the reality that my life is auspicious. All sincerely do this process now and fully identify all the delusions that is causing the pralaya in you. Yes. Now we have identified and written all the delusion that is causing the pralaya in our life. Now let us decide that whenever you feel that the pralaya is happening in your life, just meditate on oh yes, sorry for the technical glitch. So yes, Paramashiva has revealed, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed that whenever you feel that pralaya is happening in you, just meditate on the Sandhya Nritta Murthy. Just invoke him and say, Mahadeva, you are doing your Sandhya Nritya in my life. Just show me you are doing the Sandhya Nritya. That's enough. He will simply manifest the auspiciousness in you. This one powerful cognition that just meditate on him, the Sandhyanartha Murti, and allow him and tell him that, yes, Mahadeva, you are doing this cosmic Leela in my life. Just show me that. Surrender everything to him. Just meditate on him. He will just bring auspiciousness inside you. This powerful cognition, this one powerful cognition can bring tremendous changes in our life. And you literally feel everything, each and every moment, whatever is happening in your life, you will just feel everything is happening for auspiciousness. So yes, with this, we'll be coming to the end of this segment. And also I request all the viewers on Facebook and YouTube. And now we'll be entering into yet another segment, which says, what is the benefit of all this Bhava Samadhi Darshans that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving us during this Paramashivam? And also, what is this current world is facing as a problem, and what is the solution Kailasa is offering through the Mahaparamashivam? So I request all the participants, you can take a few seconds, a few minutes to share the live to all your friends and families whom you feel they should get the benefit of this Mahaparamashivam. And also you can share on your social medias how this one breakthrough, one understanding gives a breakthrough in your life. So let's take a few moments and quickly share the live to all our friends and families. So all of us will have the best Mahaparamashivam, which is directly given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, a 21-day program, awakening all of us to the superconscious breakthroughs.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. You will become Paramashivam. whatever I shared till now, condensing the whole thing and reviving it as experience, starting from completion, unclutching, power manifestation, the states of consciousness, and the planes, multiple planes, everything. Understand, literally last 39 years from the age of 5, whatever Paramashiva manifested through teaching, speaking, writing, every way, condensing the whole thing and presenting it to you all as experientially in these 21 days through this Jnana Charya, Jnana Kriya, Jnana Yoga, Jnana Jnana is Mahaparamashivoham. Lifestyle for just Paramashiva. Rituals to be just Paramashiva. Yoga for just being Paramashiva. Jnana, just Paramashiva. This Mahaparamashivoham is like literally the ultimate journey in a most safest way.
A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their
Understand? Literally last 39 years from the age of 5, whatever Paramashiva manifested through teaching, speaking, writing, every way.
So in this today's segment, we have seen how Paramashiva is one of the wonderful truths about how we can perceive life as auspicious. Just having this one powerful cognition, how we can get rid of all
world leads to a bright future. Enlightened humanity leads to a better world.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Nityananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Nityananda.
yes, everyone. So in the earlier segment, we have seen the supreme founder of Hinduism given as a wonderful truths and powerful cognition to all of us, that many of us are believe that our life is falling apart. And the actual truth is everything is falling in and everything is happening. So looking at the life today and the current modern society now, the humanity now, the current, especially the youths, are being forced with many fears and greeds today. And the fear and greed become the major problem the current humanity, the current modern youth is facing now. It may be any field, it can be any aspect if you take. Looking at higher profile people, even in a job, health, whatever it may be, either they'll be driven by the greed or by the fear. On the other side, the shocking news is There are so much of layoffs are happening across the globe. Just we have had a new year and it's not even over the first month of January. And almost like many multi-million companies, the tech companies had put down their almost like 20 to 50% of their staff as a layoff. So unemployment's going to be a one more problem this humanity, this modern youth going to be facing now. And there was a one more report from the article which also says around 75, more than 75% of the people feels either they are too much qualified for their job, and all the people are, of course, they are not satisfied and they are not happy with the job they are doing now. One side they feel they are overqualified for this job, another side they also feel that they are paid less for the job what they are doing. These layoffs is the one more problem. You can see the statistics. Here are the largest tech layoff recently happened, and you can see the January 2023. Alphabet, Meta, Business, Amazon, Microsoft, all the super national companies has put down multiple percentage of layoffs. This is one side. Another side, you have seen the countries are going to have multiple debts. Yes, today there are so much of climatic issues are happening. So much of poverty is being still untackling one across the globe. Many of them are facing multiple issues. But as a country, as a nation, many nations are facing these debts. So what is the solution now? What is Kailasa offering here through this Paramashivam as a solution? The Supreme Point of Hinduism has explored and given the multiple signs just by having these fundamental energies. If you go in much deeper into the physics, have multiple levels of energies. One is the electromagnetic energy, the gravitational energy, nuclear energy, all that. Just by having and exploring these fundamental energies like gravitational and electromagnetic energy and energy, we get off this fear. A common man today in this world is always been having this one thing, fear and greed, as their day-to-day problem in their life. So today we're going to see about how this Kailasa's Paramashivam, which is directly connected by the Supreme, is going to be a solution for all of us. Here in this program, the 21-day programs, the Supreme Point of Hinduism is giving us the multiple breakthrough sessions where each one of us will be given the initiation and the powerful cognitions where we can just, by simple kriyas and yogas, we can just get rid of this fear and greed. Because the modern day youths are the hope for the entire humanity. Right? And also I have with me Sri Nithyananda Maharaj. Also will be joining with me today or sharing more about how this Kailasa's Paramashivam is a groundbreaking event which the Kailasa is offering to the humanity. So those who like know more about the Paramashivam while you're listening to this episode, you can just head over to paramashivam.org and you can explore more on the website as well. Yes. Now I would like to welcome Sri Nithyananda and like to request him to share more on this. What is special about Paramashivam and how Kailasa's Paramashivam can be a solution for this current modern day youths to get rid of this fear and greed. Nithyananda Maharaj.
Yes, Nithyananda Maharaj, thank you so much. So this is the gift the Supreme Point of Hinduism is giving. So just by his very presence, just by his darshan, just by remembrance of him, just by giving a listening space, and just by being in that place. So in the Paramashivam series of processes, darshans, initiations, Swamiji gives and supports you with the accompanying knowledge of how to come out of whatever difficulties it is, or what it is you want to manifest in your life, the science of manifestation. So if we look simply at actually, how does the spiritual growth happen for any individual? Bhagavad Gita actually tells us in the second chapter, 61st verse, the Bhagavad Gita says, Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vashehiya sandriyani tasya prajna pratishtita. So the translation for this is, whether you believe it or not, whether you want to understand it or not, you are a person, you are an individual soul, reflecting pure consciousness. So if we look at actually just even how simply the spiritual growth happens. So you are an individual soul reflecting the pure consciousness. So this is our pure possibility to reflect that highest, as we are a manifestation of an individual soul reflecting that pure consciousness. So we have the possibility, we just need to have the deeper layers, the higher levels unlocked, and strengthen our connection and the manifest energy in our own individual life. So this is precisely what the Supreme Point of Hinduism does. This is exactly what happens by spending time entangling, connecting with the master. So how does this spiritual growth happen? Swamiji reminds us, your conscious decision to empower the oneness experience is enough for the oneness to blossom in you, the oneness to take over you. It's just declaring your willingness, the conscious willingness. So just saying your yes is enough. And this again and again is what the participants in the Paramashivam are sharing, that just by having that innocent listening space, just by spending that time with the Supreme Point of Hinduism, all the patterns are removed and all the possibilities manifest effortlessly. So moving on to actually just review something about the spiritual practice, your DNA. So this is a lot of the studies of epigenetics is showing how your spiritual practice actually can change your DNA. So for example, some of these studies are saying boosted genes had 3 main beneficial effects: improving the efficiency of mitochondria, our house of cells, boosting insulin production, which improves control of blood sugar, and preventing the depletion of telomeres, caps on chromosomes that help DNA stable and so prevent cells wearing out and aging. So these are some of the benefits that have been shown through the spiritual practice, the impact on your DNA. This is called the study of epigenetics, that the cell energy is boosted and the blood sugar becomes stable, and your chromosomes engage in this process of anti-aging because they are more resilient. And also, this study is telling clusters of genes that became less active were those governed by a master gene called NF-kappa B, which triggers chronic inflammation, leading to diseases including high blood pressure, heart disease, inflammatory bowel disease, and some cancers. So it's showing that spiritual practice can down-regulate genes that cause inflammation. So by engaging in spiritual practice, we reduce the inflammation, which leads to these various kind of diseases like high blood pressure, heart disease, inflammatory bowel disease, and some cancers. So this is some of the modern science catching up slowly with the Vedic science and the initiations during the Paramashivam from the Supreme Point of Hinduism. So just a reminder, paramashivoham.org, you can enter your intention now. So is it possible for me? Is it possible to live a superhuman life in the human body? Does the third eye awakening really exist? And can such awakened states be transmitted from master to disciple? So the answer is yes. This is the very purpose of the happening of the Supreme Point of Hinduism, the incarnation, the avatar of Paramashiva, to give this superconscious experience as our experience. So the avatar happens in human body to transmit the powerful cognitions, because when your even your 2 eyes see something happening, that same happening gets recreated in your system, whether it's fear, violence, swimming, laughter, joy, etc. That gets recreated. So your system automatically recognizes and connects with the space of the supreme point of Hinduism, and the neurons inside of you start mirroring the avatar's neurons. So literally, this is the superconscious mutation process and formation of your DNA, because the cells start functioning as the avatar's cells function. So it's effortless initiation from the avatar. So this is some of the scientific study done on previous programs, gifts from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, that has seen this increase in cellular energy. So the quotation from the study says, 100% of participants of this particular study recorded a drastic increase in energy levels, average 1300%. Such an increase is clearly impossible through any other known means, such as exercise, yoga, or fitness training, which can affect a maximum of 40% increase in the muscles. To see this in the red or white cellular energy is very unusual. So this is something that modern science has never seen before. Modern science, meaning the last few hundred years, has never seen before. The scientists conducting the study in the 21-day program with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism measured this 1300% increase in mitochondrial cell energy, which you get a maximum if you get a 40% in the muscular mitochondrial energy. That is a good doing, say, intense gym or yoga. 1300% for all is unheard of, and that in the red or white cellular energy is extremely unusual. So already the Kundalini awakening, initiations and darshans from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism during the Paramashivam, these experiences has already been shown to be literally off the charts of what modern science has ever seen. So this is why again and again we hear the participants saying, all these things are happening effortlessly. The transformation is happening without me doing anything. Patterns are simply falling away. And even I have to be careful what I think, because what I think starts happening. So this is the science of traveling to higher lokas. It means the higher conscious levels. So the lower moods of fear, greed, lust, as we've been speaking about today, is one space of living and empowering those lower cognitions of yourself. But the higher conscious zones and the vertical time zone is also one part of you, and which part of you decide to empower, that space gets empowered in your being and starts to radiate through the rest of your life. So this is the superconscious mutation process. The infusion of the cosmic superconscious mutation energy results in quantum entanglement and causes the neurons of the receptor to mirror the space of perpetual completion radiating from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at a biological level. So this is the super process. By empowering our the aspects of us in the higher lokas, and by experiencing those higher states of consciousness, and by mirroring the neurons of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism during the processes, initiations, and darshans, it literally transforms the neurons and cells of our system. So the mutation happens through the superconscious grace and initiation. So let us hear more personalized experience of how this transformation process happens, and what is the experience of liberation of fear and greed, and various other aspects that happen during the Paramashivam. Just a reminder, paramashivam.org is the simple link to enter your intention. And you can go to actually ecitizen.kailasa.org, and you can register to be an e-citizen of Kailasa, Kailasa, the First Nation for all Hindus, reviving the Enlightenment science for the entire humanity. So paramashivam.org and ecitizen.kailasa.org. Register your intention, whatever it is. See, the whole science Swamiji is giving is your thought, and your intention becomes reality just by a decision. So Swamiji again and again is initiating and empowering us to take the actions necessary to manifest your reality. The lower moods, fear, greed, are not required. So let us hear some more first experience from participants from the Paramashivam, and these beautiful giftings of Darshan initiations from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. I'd like to now welcome Jared Aya from Ohio in the USA to share some of his experiences with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Paramashivam. Aya, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. And if you would just unmute yourself, please, and just give a brief introduction for everyone here. Thank you so much, Nithyanandam.
Thank you. So my name is Jared Fuller. I'm 24. I'm from Ohio, and I was introduced to Swamiji in 2017. So my name is Jared Fuller. I'm 24. I'm from Ohio, and I was introduced to Swamiji in 2017. So my name is Jared Fuller. I'm 24. I'm from Ohio, and I was introduced to Swamiji. I'm having a bit of a lag here.
Yes, we're just... Yeah,
Okay.
Great. We're just reviewing your introduction. So, so thank you. And yes, and so you... Yes, exactly. And you had participated in not only the Paramashivam, but as you mentioned earlier, 2017 Paramashivam.
Yes.
Great. Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, so now with your experiences with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the superconscious mutation process, so things feeling as impossible reality happening just effortlessly. So what would you share about this whole Darshan initiation processes with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, such as the Paramashivam? What is that experience for you?
Absolutely. Like, especially in regards to fear and greed, I can say, and to the people who are just now being introduced to Swamiji, I want you to like really listen to this one. So you don't really understand how much fear and greed you're carrying around with you on the day-to-day until it's just removed from you. You know, like Swamiji will literally just, you come and you sit for the darshans and you have the initiations. And personally for me, I had a lot of fear in regards to pain, a lot of fear in regards to like spiders and insects and things like that. And I don't know when it left or when it changed, but I know for a fact that Swamiji just made it redundant. And what you realize is that when it becomes redundant, you'll see it happening and you'll see like, oh wow, I normally would react this way, but now I'm consciously, interacting with whatever is going on. And one thing that I would also like to include is that these fear that you normally experience, like as like on an average day-to-day basis, not only do they become non-redundant, but it gives you such confidence when you're able to witness how you would normally react to how you're reacting now. It gives you such confidence, and it just empowers you to continue to do your practices and do what you're doing. And in regard to greed too, I can say that I've experienced personally a large amount of greed in regards to my financial situation. I've felt that I've gone without, and going made me feel as if I needed more. I needed more finances. I needed more money. I needed more of this. In going through these initiations and these darshans and these processes with Swamiji has literally just completely switched that to, now I'm desiring freedom. Now I'm desiring time. Now I'm desiring the ability to wake up in Brahma Muhurta, do my yoga, my puja, be there for satsang and darshan and do all these things, instead of having the ability to have more money or more finances. So that was just completely erased away from me. I used to suffer with fear in regards to like thinking of like the unknown, right? And when you have the fear of the unknown, it really you get overcome with powerlessness, and that powerlessness is just almost too much to handle. As to where on the opposite side, when you can literally see that that everything is happening is for a reason and everything is auspicious, it gives you such a strength. It gives you such a power that allows you to start understanding that, hey, whatever has happened and whatever is going to continue to happen is for the benefit of you. And you feel as if you're being supported by the very, very cosmos itself, and having that support and feeling that support and confidence and enthusiasm, not only does it melt away the fear, not only does it melt away the greed, but it brings a tremendous amount of, of just feeling of powerfulness. And that feeling of powerfulness is what increases the confidence, and then that's what increases the enthusiasm, and it just allows you to continue upon this path that you're taking. So yeah.
Great. So these are some of the patterns that you've been liberated from, as you were mentioning endlessly through the initiation process.
And it's like you don't even really notice, you know. It's like you, and this is why earlier I said somebody who has just been introduced to Swamiji, you don't really notice the amount of fear and the greed that you're carrying. And the reason why I say that personally is because I had no idea. Like I don't have fear, I don't have greed, and you won't really understand it until Swamiji just makes it non-redundant for you, and then that's when you really realize the baggage that you were carrying, and it makes that gratitude and appreciation so much more.
Right, and as you had mentioned, the confidence that the cosmos is supporting me, Swamiji is supporting me, I can move ahead with what I want to manifest, that I don't have to be spending so much time in my fear and greed.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned like that your participation in the business world changed from having that fear that you don't have enough, that you haven't amassed enough, so that you have agreed to accumulate more and more and more and more, that this is actually a self-perpetuating pattern, so that when I have the cognition, the powerless cognition, that me accumulating more of external things is going to fulfill me. That cognition, that understanding, actually just saying that is my understanding, that something from outside is going to fulfill me, that is actually a very dangerous thought to have.
Yes, that many people are carrying, especially, you know, I was absolutely one of them, and I mean full-fledged going towards that goal, you know, like full-fledged going towards it. And I would say that another thing is, like, Swamiji not only gave me the confidence to even start the business to begin with, but feeling as if I've gone without so much. Really what I was feeling was, hey, what these other beings are experiencing is more valuable than I'm experiencing. Let me experience that. Right? So that's what it really came down to. But then it has, you know, it's just transformed into this, let me align myself to the lifestyle in which suits me. And that lifestyle is, you know, obviously the lifestyle of Kailasa, waking up in Brahma Muhurta, being able to do the yoga, puja, kriyas, all of these things. And so that's been my driving factor ever since the beginning of the Paramashivam program. It has I haven't faulted on it. It's like the Paramashivam program has allowed, these darshans has allowed just this simple integrity to grow, and it's just continued to empower me again and again. It's just continued to empower me. So I can't thank Swamiji enough. I can't. There's no way to. But not only do I feel as a very blessed being to be able to have see and witness the transformation, but also to be able to come to others and, hey, look, listen, like I've been there, and where I am now, I wouldn't have expected in a million years. And I didn't do anything other than show up and have simple integrity. That's all we really did, you know. And Swamiji just does the rest, and it increases that confidence in Swamiji, in yourself. And let me tell you something. For me personally, understanding that I'm Paramashiva was very difficult. When you feel as if the very fabric of existence itself is your guru, and it's supporting you, and it's helping you, and it's grooming you to essentially be exactly what you want to become, it gives you the strength that, hey, even if I've yet to manifest it, I am Paramashiva. So it's a very beautiful thing.
Yes, and that is what this this cognition, understanding, that you mentioned, moving away from fear and greed. So rather than feeling like I need to accumulate more to more external things, that is actually perpetuating this cycle of fear and greed. But actually that your focus had changed to, okay, now let me focus on the things that bring me inner fulfillment, the things that empower me to sustain that fulfillment and to live blissfully in my life. That's a huge shift, actually. Especially for a young person to come from effortlessly the experiences with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. A complete shift on looking at life of, okay, all these things I see outside, actually none of them will fulfill me. Let me focus on what brings me inner fulfillment and to work for that. That is a huge transformation.
It is. It's a massive transformation that required little effort by my part. Very little effort by my part.
Exactly. And I know you had a lot of different beautiful experiences in your life, and in the Paramashivam with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We have a couple minutes. I don't know if you want to briefly share one of your darshan experiences or anything else.
I'd love to. Yeah, so actually, this experience that I had recently, so I'm sorry, as I'm thinking about it, I feel as if it's happening again. So I'm sitting for darshan, and I'm just sitting, and I'm having thought. I'm like, you know what, let me just drop from all these thoughts, and like, let me just be, and whatever happens, right? So I'm sitting, and Swamiji comes on beautifully as always, and maybe 20 or 30 seconds go by, and every cell in my being just starts rapidly reverberating. I mean, vibrating at the highest intensity that I've ever experienced in my life, to the point where I didn't even know I had this many cells or this many. I feel as if it was cells, because I felt as if these very, very small things inside of me just vibrating, shaking. And there was a moment where it became so overwhelming that Janat and I was going to literally explode. I feel like I was literally going to just explode in all directions. And I remember I recalled, and I asked Swamiji, I said, hey, Swamiji, like, please lower it. Like, this is too much. And the second I asked that, the very second, it dropped down. And I settled myself and took a couple more deep breaths, and then I asked Swamiji, okay, Swamiji, I'm ready to raise it back up. it never got raised back up again. It never got raised back up again. But I tell you what, I felt as if Swamiji raised my frequency to the exact amount that the being could handle. It was almost as if I was a cup, and you know when you fill the cup up with water, and then you fill it up just a little above the rim of the cup, just a little bit above the rim of the cup to where it's like a tiny bit over the cup, but it hasn't overflown. That was me. I was holding more than I could handle. And it was so intense. It was such a beautiful experience. And yeah, I asked Swamiji to lower it down. And the second I did, he did. It just came right down. And I was experiencing, I was like, okay, ready. And then asked for it to be raised back up, and it just stayed. And what that showed me was, hey, you know, Swamiji knows much better than me. I could have maintained it, but it was such a powerful experience that even after the experience, I feel as if anytime that I go back to recall on that experience, I feel that overwhelming sensation, and it was so much to hold. It changed my perspective on everything. After that happened, it was like, okay, whatever happens from this moment forward is purely through the will of Swamiji, and let me allow that to happen. So whether I view it as negative, whether I view it as positive, whether I view it as whatever it is, it goes back to the cognition of earlier, which is everything that happens is auspicious.
Yes, exactly. Great. Thank you so much, Aya, for joining us today and for sharing experience. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Nithyananda. Thank you.
And with this, I'd like to welcome everyone once again to your intention into Paramashivam.org. So, with the space of powerfulness, your own declaration for what it is you want to manifest in your life, what it is you want to manifest yourself as for those in your life, and what those in your life want to manifest in their life for you being the cause of that, to have the cosmic energy infused in you and the blessings of the supreme part of Hinduism, the superconscious mutation process. The possibility, as Jared is sharing about the disillusion, the redundancy of fear and greed, and understanding, having the experience that everything that happens is auspicious, and just deciding to hold on to that powerful cognition and take the next step. So first step is entering your intention into Paramashivam.org. Click the register link. You can also go to the events.kailasa.org/Mahaparamashivaham/registration. So that takes you directly to the registration page. Or you can go to the short link of Paramashivam.org. So take that first step. First step is typing in the keyboard and clicking the link and enter your details into the registration form. If you need help entering into the registration, just type in the chat on the social media platform where you are that you need some assistance to register, and you'll be contacted. So first step to manifesting your reality is simple effortlessness. Just entering your intention to be there in the Mahaparamashivaham, February 9th to March 1st, the greatest spiritual program of the year. And you can also become the e-citizen of Kailasa. So the First Nation for all Hindus and the First Nation for the enlightenment of the humanity, the new era, the reawakening of the consciousness on the planet Earth, happening from the grace of the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So ecitizen.kailasa.org. So you get access to a huge amount, endless amount actually, of courses and live training sessions, darshans, etc., just by this free access to becoming an e-citizen of Kailasa. So as Swamiji has told, the opening of the Mahakailasa and the Mahaparamashivaham next season happening all in this year. Constant auspiciousness available. So Paramashivam.your intention, and then sign up for your e-citizenship for free at the ecitizen.kailasa.org. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Jared, for sharing your experiences. and blessings for all of us to meet again in the February 9th Paramashivam season opener with the Supreme Pandav of Hinduism. Blessings to everyone. Thank you all, everyone, so much. Nithyananda.
A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashiva. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days, it will not have power over you. Understand? This is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashiva and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now.
Since the beginning of time and space, Bhagwan Paramashiva, the all-powerful, all-pervasive, and all-knowing ultimate superconscious existence, revealed in the Vedas and Agamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, the truths about himself and the manifested universe and its multidimensional and simultaneously existing dimensions and worlds, also known as parallel universes or vertical time zones.
Trutyadi pratyayasyaartha kalo maya samudbhavaha. The Kala Tattva, which gives rise to the knowledge of various time zones and parallel universes such as Truti and others, is originated by Ananteshwara from the impure Maya.
Bhagwan Paramashiva mentions that as we experience the various higher states of consciousness, We simultaneously experience the various time zones. We get transported to the parallel universes and experience the other dimensions of our own existence, of our own personality.
Listen. Subarloka is all about stable bliss, absolute health and stable bliss. Maharloka is all about the highest peak possibilities. Jana Loka is the place where you can exist in multiple bodies at a time. You experience oneness as the super reality. Tapaloka is that last struggle you go through. Sometimes you know you are Paramashiva, sometimes you just slip off, but again you say, I am Paramashiva. That space is the Tapoloka, an absolute surrender. Whether I am remembering, I am manifesting Paramashivatva, or I am deluded, I surrender both to Paramashiva. When you take that decision, you go to Brahmaloka. You move to the Brahmaloka. The deep surrender lifts you to Brahmaloka. Then from there, you move to Parandama, Vaikunta, and Kailasa, then Mahakailasa itself.
The key to unlock these parallel universes is hidden in the spine of the human body.
Human beings, only human beings on this planet Earth are empowered, hardwired, capable of migrating to parallel universe. Understand? Your spine is not only hardwired, capable of fueled, charged to lift you off to different parallel universes.
Sukritan manavo bhutva jnani chen mokshamapnuyat chaturashita-laksheshu sharireshu sharirinam namanusyam vina yatra tattvahanantu labhyate. Of the 8.4 million bodily forms, the human body is the most important, for it is the form in which one gets knowledge of the essence. This knowledge of essence cannot be attained in any other form other than human.
The possibility you have need to be told to you. Understand? Even though animals have spine, because the majority of the time they spend horizontally, the spine is not capable of getting fuel with a subtle fuel called ojas. The ojas need to be filled in your spine, and the kundalini need to be ignited for you to reach parallel universe and different vertical time zone spaces.
When our state of consciousness is raised, we start experiencing these higher lokas, allowing the various possibilities and powers available in these universes to start expressing in our own human body.
Recently, scientists have discovered that the human body, particularly in the brain, naturally produces light in the form of biophotons, and that when our state of consciousness is lifted, the brain moves from producing a normal 20 photons of light per centimeter square per second to more than 100,000 photons of light per second. That shows us that as we start to experience higher and higher states of consciousness, we start to produce huge amount of light, which is directly proportional and translatable to the amount of possibilities and powers that start to manifest on this plane, as well as the freedom from pains and sufferings experienced by beings in lower states of consciousness.
These higher lokas gives you various possibilities, powers. For example, visualize you going to a different country where the electronic gadgets are easily, freely available. So naturally, everything you can gain through the electronic gadgets will be available to you freely. Same way, Kamadhenu, Karpaga Vriksha, Parijata, all these are like different gadgets, possibilities available in different lokas. Please understand, a permanent, irreversible power manifestation from the upper lokas is possible.
Once these possibilities and powers start to express in the human body on the Bhuloka, our present plane, we reach a point of no return, where the cognitive shift which happens in us about who we are and what is the reality hidden behind this perceivable world frees us from the deluded ideas we have about ourselves and the life in the cosmos.
The moment your consciousness is empowered to access and to exist in the parallel universe, no force in this Bhuloka, planet Earth, can torture you, abuse you, suffocate you. It is irreversible, permanent enlightenment, irreversible, permanent empowerment.
In the source scriptures of Hinduism, the Vedas and Agamas, Bhagwan Paramashiva reveals about the importance of being initiated by a guru who is fit of giving initiation for us to raise into the various states of consciousness and time zones.
The potency of Anavamala, which veils the innate and essential nature of the soul, is set into the decaying phase by this specific activity. Such specific activity is characteristically called Diksha. The intimate communion between the Blessed One and the Blessing One is very rare and difficult to occur.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, living amidst us starting out at a young age and enduring years of intense penance. He persevered with the single-pointed vision of experiencing the ultimate oneness with Paramashiva, known as Paramadvaita. He traversed the length and breadth of India, initiated by his gurus into yoga, tantra, and other Eastern metaphysical sciences. After having many profound spiritual experiences, he finally received the ultimate experience of Paramashivoham, I am Paramashiva, from his guru Arunagiri Yogeshwara, an incarnation of Paramashiva himself in the holy town of Tiruvannamalai in South India.
The brain is the body's most complex organ, containing more than 100 billion neurons, each of them in chemical and electrical conversation with up to 10,000 other neurons. Its sheer capacity to process the various happenings of life is astonishing. The scientific studies on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's brain remarkably shows that the complexity presents no difficulty for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in managing his brain's activity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's capacity to control his brain is very fluid. He can easily shift his brain function and alter his brain waves, allowing the travel into various time zones possible and effortless. The results from the scientific studies conducted on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism show that the human body and brain is able to choose to alter the body and to travel to other dimensions at will. The possibility for people to experience the healing capabilities as well as the higher states of consciousness is an event of immense benefit for humankind. The science of altering the rates and progression of many physical diseases, mental instabilities, and ultimately the superconscious breakthrough has now been made available and achievable for today's humanity.
Hinduism is a bridge between the visible and the invisible. He is also a bridge between the age-old world of mysticism and the modern world of discovery. As brain research,
your present reality, to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva.
Let us all enter to the most awaited part of our day, which is the Darshan. We also welcome all the viewers that have joined us now from Facebook, YouTube, and other social media platforms, and all the program participants for participating in this preparatory program for Paramashivam. Now all of you are intensely doing the visualization process in the program. Just hold on to that. Now, in a few minutes, we are going to be entering into the Samadhi Darshan of the Saptatandava Murthis of Paramashivam. We are going to be having the Sandhya and Nritta Murthy Darshan. Now, we are going to be chanting the Dhyana Shloka of Bhagavan Sandhya and Nritta Murthy during the Darshan. Please sit with your head, neck and spine straight line as much as possible and just be there. Enjoy the darshan and do not get distracted with anything else. Darshan is the most powerful and intense happening. Just be there. Now let's start. Let's enter into the darshan preparation.
Chaturbhujam Trinetram cha Jatamakutbhushanam Abhayam Damaru Savye Vame Pincha Savismayam Apasmaram Vinapithe Vamangraya Kunchitam Stitham Udveto Dakshinam Padam Asavyamagam Tada Tatpadam Kunchitam Vata Sarpakankana-bhushitam Sandhya-tandavam syat Varnadi-purvavam bhavet. Meditate on this form of Sandhya Nritta Murthy, Sandhya Tandava Murthy. The meaning of the Dhyana Shloka goes as:
I meditate on the form of Sandhya Nritta Murthy, who has 4 hands and 3 eyes and is adorned with the crown of jatas. In his right hand he holds a Abhaya and Dhamaru. In his left hand he holds a peacock feather. Apasmara is present without a petum. The left leg is bent and is on the Apasmara. Right leg is facing upward and that leg is having the serpent as the anklet.
Now, let us all chant the Mahavakya and get ready to receive our Samadhi Darshan. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam Om Nithyananda Paramashivam Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
மன்னாதி பூதமோடு விண்ணாதி அண்டம் நீ மறை நான்கின் அடிமுடியும் நீ மரியும் நீ ரவியும் நீ புனலும் நீ அனலும் நீ மண்டலம் இரண்டேழும் நீ பெண்ணும் நீ ஆணும் நீ பல்லுயிர்க்குயிரும் நீ பிறவும் நீ ஒருவன் நீயே வேதாதி வேதம் நீ பாதாதி கேசம் நீ பெற்ற தாய் தந்தை நீயே கிரகங்கள் 9 நீ, இந்த புவனங்கள் பெற்றவனும் நீ. என்னறிய ஜீவ கோடிகள் ஈந்த அப்பனே, என் குறைகள் யார் குறைப்பே? குறை தீர்க்கும் தூயவா, குன்றம் போல் நின்றவா, நித்யானந்த தேவா. குறை தீர்க்கும் தூயவா, குன்றம் போல் நின்றவா, நித்யானந்த தேவா. மானாட மழுவாட மதியாட புனலாட மங்கை சிவகாமியாட, மானாட நூலாட மறையாட திரையாட மறை தந்த பிரம்மனாட. கோனாட வானுலகு கூட்டமெல்லாம் ஆட, குஞ்சர முகத்தனாட குண்டலமிரண்டாட, தண்டை புலி உடையாட குழந்தை முருகேசனாட. ஞான சம்பந்தரோடு இந்திரர் 18 முனியாட பாலகராட, நரை தும்பையருமாட நந்தி வாகனமாட நாட்டிய பெண்களாட. வினையோடு உனை பாட எனை நாடி இது வேளை விருதோடி ஆடி வருவாய். ஆனந்தமயமாக ஆடி வரும் தேவனே, நித்யானந்த தேவா. ஆனந்தமயமாக ஆடி வரும் தேவனே, நித்யானந்த தேவா. கடலென்ற புவி மீதில் அலை என்ற ஒரு கொண்டு, கனவென்ற வாழ்வை நம்பி காத்தென்ற மூவாசை மாறுதச் சுழலிலே கட்டுண்டு நித்தம் நித்தம். உடலென்ற கும்பிக்கு உணவென்ற இறை தேடி ஓயாமல் இரவு பகலும் உண்டுறங்குவதை கண்டதே அல்லாமல் ஒரு பயன் அடைந்தினேனே. தடமென்ற விடிகரையில் பந்த மாசங்களெரும் தாபர பின்னலிட்டு, தாயென்று தேயென்று நீ என்று நான் என்று தமிழேனையும் வண்ணமா. இடையென்று கடை நின்று ஏனென்று கேளாதிருப்பதும் அழகாகுமோ? இன்னலை தீர்க்கவே என் முகம் காட்டிவா, இனியனே நித்யனேவா. இன்னலை தீர்க்கவே என் முகம் காட்டிவா, இனியனே நித்யனேவா. பம்பு சூனியமல்ல வைப்பல்ல மாரணம், தம்பனம் வசியமல்ல பாதாள வஞ்சனம், பரதாய பிரவேசம் அதுவல்ல ஜாலமல்ல. அம்பு குண்டுகள் விலகும் ஒளியும் மந்திரமல்ல, ஆகாய குளிகை அல்ல. அன்போடு செய்கின்ற வாதமோடிகள் அல்ல, அரிய மோகனம் அல்ல. கும்பமுனி மச்சமுனி தட்டமுனி பிரம்மரிஷி கொங்கனர் புலிப்பாணியும், போராக்கர் வள்ளுவர் போகமுனி இவரெல்லாம் கூறிடும் வைத்தியமல்ல. என்பனது உன்னடி விட்டு நீங்காது நிலை நிற்கவே புகழ வருவாய். என் மனதில் நீங்காது நின்றிடும் நேசரே நித்யானந்தரேவா. என் மனதில் நீங்காது நின்றிடும் நேசரே நித்யானந்தரேவா. நொந்து வந்தேன் என்று ஆயிரம் சொல்லியும் செவியென்ன மந்தமுண்டு. நுட்பநெறி அறியாத பிள்ளையை பெற்ற பின்னோக்காத தந்தையுண்டோ. தந்தமும் தஞ்சம் என்றடியை பிடித்த பின் தளராத நெஞ்சமுண்டோ. தந்தி முகன் அருமுகன் இரு பிள்ளை இல்லையோ தந்தை நீ மலடுதாரோ. விந்தையும் ஜாலமும் உன்னிடம் இருக்குதே வினையொன்றும் அருகிலேனே. வேதமும் சாஸ்திரமும் உன்னையே புகழுதே வேடிக்கை இது வல்லவோ. இந்த உலகீரேழுமே அளித்தாய் இனிமே நான் உன்னை விடுவதில்லை. எப்பிறவி எடுத்தாலும் உன் பதம் வேண்டுமே நித்யானந்த குருவே. எப்பிறவி எடுத்தாலும் உன் பதம் வேண்டுமே நித்யானந்த குருவே. வழிகண்டு உன்னடியை துதியாத போதிலும் வாஞ்சையில்லாத போதும் வாலாயமாய் கோயில் சுற்றாத போதிலும் பஞ்சமே செய்த போதும் ஒளியகனை மொகனை இல்லாமலே பாடினும் மூர்க்கனே முகடாகினும் ஈயினும் தேசமே கவரினும் முழுகாமியே ஆகினும் பழியன கல்லவே தாய் தந்தை கல்லவோ பார்த்தவர்கள் சொல்லார்களோ. பாரறிய மனைவிக்கு பாதி உடலீந்தனி பாலகனை காக்கோனாதோ. எழில் பெரிய அழ்காய் அமைத்தனி என் குறைகள் தீர்த்தல் பெரிதோ. என் குற்றம் போக்கியே என் மனம் குளிர வரும் நித்யானந்த குருவே. என் குற்றம் போக்கியே என் மனம் குளிர வரும் நித்யானந்த குருவே. அன்னை தந்த கைகள் என்னை ஈன்றதற்கழுவேனோ அறிவிலாதற்கழுவேனோ. அல்லாமல் நான் முகன் தன்னையே நோவேனோ ஆசை மூன்று கழுவேனோ. பிறப்பென்ன வினை செய்தேன் என்றழுவேனோ மூட அறிவு கழுவேனோ. முள்ளிலன் வினை வந்து மூழும் என்றழுவேனோ முக்தி வரும் என்றுணர்வனோ. தன்னை நுந்தழுவேனோ உன்னை நுந்தழுவேனோ தவம் என்ன என்றழுவேனோ. தையலார் கழுவேனோ மெய் வளர்க்க அழுவேனோ தரித்திர திசை கழுவேனோ. பிறவி வருமோ என்று அழுவேனோ எல்லாம் உரைக்க வருவாய். மானிட பிறப்பருக்கும் மாறாத மாயரே நித்யானந்தனேவா. மானிட பிறப்பருக்கும் மாறாத மாயரே நித்யானந்தனேவா. தாயாமுன் மரமீது பூ பிஞ்சருத்தனோ கண்ணியர்கள் பழி கொண்டேனோ. கடனென்று பொருள் பறித்தேவையில் எரித்தேனோ கிளை வழியில் முள்ளிட்டேனோ. தாயாருடன் பிறவிக்கென்ன வினை செய்தேனோ தந்த பொருள் இல்லை என்றேனோ. நான் என்று கருவித்து கொலை களவு செய்தேனோ தவசிகளை ஏசினேனோ. வாயார பொய் சொல்லி வீண் பொருள் பறித்தேனோ பழித்திட்டேனோ. வடவு போல பிறரை சேர்க்காதடித்தேனோ வந்த பின் என் செய்தேனோ. ஈயாத லோபி என்றே பெயர் எடுத்தேனோ எல்லாம் பொறுத்தருள்வாய். பொறுமையின் சீலனே இன்முகநேயனே நித்யானந்தனேவா. பொறுமையின் சீலனே இன்முகநேயனே நித்யானந்தனேவா. தாயாரிருந்தென்ன தந்தையுமிருந்தென்ன தன் பிறவி உறவு கோடி. தனமலை குவித்தென்ன கனப்பெயர் எடுத்தென்ன தாரணியை ஆண்டும் என்ன. சேயர்கள் இருந்தென்ன குருவாயிருந்தென்ன சீடர்கள் இருந்தும் என்ன. சித்துகள் பலவும் கத்தென்ன நித்தமும் விரதங்கள் செய்ததென்ன. நதிகளெல்லாம் ஓயாது மூழ்கினும் என்ன பலன் யமன் ஓலையை தடுக்குமோ. இதுவெல்லாம் தந்தையின் உறவென்றுதானே உன்னிரு பாதம் பிடித்தேன். யார் மீது உன் மனம் இருந்தாலும் உன் கடை கண் பார்வை அது போதுமே. உன் கடை கண் பார்வை என் மீது நின்றிட அருள்கின்ற நித்யனேவா. உன் கடை கண் பார்வை என் மீது நின்றிட அருள்கின்ற நித்யனேவா. இன்னமும் சொல்லவோ உன் மனம் கல்லோ இரும்போ பெரும் பாறையோ. இரு செவியும் மந்தமோ கேளாது அந்தமோ இது உனக்கு அழகுதானோ. என்னென்ன மோகமோ இது என்ன சாபமோ இதுவே உன் செய்கைதானோ. இரு பிள்ளை தாபமோ யார் மீது கோபமோ ஆனாலும் நான் விடுவேனோ. உனை விட்டு எங்கு சென்றாலும் விடலாவேனோ உனை அடுத்தும் கெடுவேனோ. இது உன் குற்றம் என் குற்றம் ஒன்றுமில்லை உற்றுப்பார் பெற்றவையா. விமலனே அருள் தரும் தீரனே நித்யனேவா. விந்தைகள் புரிந்திடும் விமலனே அருள் தரும் தீரனே நித்யனேவா. சனிராகு கேது புதன் சுக்கிரன் செவ்வாய் குரு சந்திரன் சூரியன் சற்றெனக்குள்ளாக்கி ராசி 12ஐயும் சமமாய் நிறுத்தியுடனே பணியொத்த நட்சத்திரங்கள் 27 பக்குவப்படுத்தி பின்னால் பகர்கின்ற கிரணங்கள் 11ஐயும் வெட்டி பலரையும் அதட்டி என் முன் பேசி கெடு நினைவு நினைக்கின்ற கசடர்களையும் கசக்கி கர்த்தனின் தொண்டராம் தொண்டர்க்கு தொண்டரின் தொண்டர்கள் தொழும்பராக்கி இனிய மனம் கொண்டிடும் நித்யபுரி நித்யனே எனையாழ்வதும் கடன்கான் கோடியில் ஒருவனே ஜீவனில் ஜீவனே நித்யானந்தனேவா. கோடியில் ஒருவனே ஜீவனில் ஜீவனே நித்யானந்தனேவா. கோடியில் ஒருவனே ஜீவனில் ஜீவனே நித்யானந்தனேவா. நித்யானந்தனேவா.